My name is Sara. I'm 16, with round cheeks that make people call me doll even now, and eyes that are too big for my face. Everyone says I look like a doll, but dolls don't fail physics chapter tests. I do, repeatedly. And with matric exams only 3 months away, panic had started living in my stomach like a permanent guest. That's when mom decided my cousin brother Reyan had to save me. Reyan is freshly graduated in electrical engineering. He lives 10 minutes away by taxi, but feels like he belongs to another world. Clean shaven, deep voice, the kind of walk that makes girls turn on the street. I had always liked him, something good that happens. I never thought he would become my daily 7 to 9 p.m. reality. He started coming the day after mom spoke to him. First evening, I sat on the dining table clutching my physics book like a shield. My plates were still damp from the bath, and I had changed into my best pink because, well, I don't know why. I just did. Ryan greeted everyone, dropped his laptop bag, rolled up the sleeves of his sky blue shirt, and smiled at me. So, Miss Topper to be, ready to fall in love with physics? I turned crimson. I I just want to pass. He laughed low and easy. We'll do better than passing. The first week flew between Newton's laws and terrible jokes. He had this way of explaining vectors, drawing arrows in the air with his long fingers, that made me forget I was supposed to be scared. Slowly the shyness melted. I started teasing him back when he mispronounced inertia with a dramatic accent. Then came the evening everything tilted. We were solving numericals on friction. I had made cold coffee for him, my first time ever serving him anything. My hand shook when I passed the glass slipped, tilted, and the entire cold, sticky, milky liquid poured straight onto his lap. Time stopped. I gasped so loudly mom came running from the kitchen. I grabbed a towel and without thinking started dabbing at his thigh like a mad person, muttering, "Sorry, sorry, sorry." Ryan caught my wrists gently. "Sara, stop. You're making it worse." His voice was soft, but something in it made my stomach flip. Mom scolded me. I stood frozen. He looked perfectly calm, but his eyes were different, darker, heavier. He sat down, opened the book, and said, "Let's finish this question." I couldn't concentrate. The place where my palms had touched his wet clothes still burned. That night, I dreamed of him. Not innocent dreams. Dreams where his hands weren't stopping my wrists. They were pulling me closer. The next few evenings passed in a haze of stolen glances and held breaths. He would lean over my shoulder to check a sum, and his sleeve would brush my cheek. Once, while explaining torque, his fingers accidentally grazed mine and stayed half a second too long. I felt the air leave my lungs. One Thursday, the electricity went out at 8:15, right when we were in the middle of electromagnetic induction. Candles were brought. Mom went to check on my grandmother upstairs. We were alone. The candle flame danced between us. "Sara," he said quietly, "do you know what current feels like?" I shook my head, throat dry. He took my hand, placed my fingers on his wrist where the pulse beat fast and strong. "This is what current feels like when you're around." I don't know who moved first. Maybe both of us. Suddenly, my cheek was against his chest, and his arms were around me like they had always belonged there. He smelled of coffee and cool cotton. I started crying. Silent, confused tears. He kissed my forehead, once, twice, murmuring my name like a prayer. Then, the lights came back. We jumped apart. Mom's footsteps on the stairs. That night, he left early, saying he had a headache. He didn't come the next day. Or the day after. By the third evening, I was a mess. Pacing, checking the clock every 2 minutes. I made Mom call him. "Reyan has a fever." Worried. "He's been delirious since yesterday." I felt my heart crack open. Next morning, I forced Mom to take me to his house. He was in bed, eyes closed, cheeks flushed, lips dry. I sat on the chair beside him while the elders talked. When his mom said she had to attend a wedding but couldn't leave him alone, I heard myself speak before thinking. "Auntie, you please go. Mom, you also go with her. I'll take care of Reyan. It's just a matter of 2 or 3 hours." They looked surprised, but I begged with my eyes. Somehow, they agreed. The door closed behind Mom and Auntie. Silence fell like a blanket. I locked the bedroom door softly, heart hammering so loud I was sure he could hear it. He hadn't opened his eyes yet. I sat on the edge of the bed, dipped the towel in cold water, and placed it on his forehead. His hand shot up and caught my wrist, eyes still closed, voice rough from fever. "Sara, you'll really burn me to ashes one day." I started crying again. "I'm sorry. I didn't mean to. I just..." He opened his eyes, red,
glassy, but burning with something that wasn't fever. Shh, listen. He pulled me down so gently that I went willingly, my face inches from his. This fire? You started it the day you spilled that coffee. I've been burning since then, and I don't want to be saved. I don't remember breathing. He brushed a tear from my cheek with his thumb. Tell me you feel it too, Sara. Tell me I'm not mad. I could only nod, trembling. He smiled, weak, feverish, beautiful, and pulled me into the smallest, softest kiss on the corner of my lips. Not more, just enough to brand me forever. I love you, he whispered against my skin. I know I shouldn't. I know it's wrong. But I love you more than anything physics ever taught me. I buried my face in his burning neck and whispered it back, over and over. Outside, the February sun climbed higher. Inside that locked room, with a wet towel cooling his fever and my heart beating against his, we crossed every line we weren't supposed to cross. Softly, secretly, completely. The elders returned 3 hours later. By then, the fever had broken a little, and I was sitting properly on the chair again, eyes swollen but shining. Nobody ever knew what happened in those 3 hours, but every evening after that, when the clock struck 7 and Reyan walked through our gate, books in one hand and that secret smile just for me, I knew physics had become my favorite subject. Because love, I learned, is the strongest force in the universe, and we were helplessly, beautifully caught in its pull.